Saying no to unsafe work. In British Columbia, workers have the right to say no if they're asked to do unsafe work. This video will help you understand the steps in the process of saying no to this kind of unsafe work. This is also known as reporting an undue hazard. If you're asked to do a job or task that you think could seriously hurt you, tell your boss or supervisor immediately that you will not do it. Say no. I don't think it is safe. Maybe you're asked to use a piece of equipment like a saw that's missing a guard. Or maybe you aren't given the personal protective equipment like safety glasses that you need to do the job safely. Or maybe you're asked to use a piece of equipment like a ladder that's broken or damaged. In cases like this, if doing the task puts you at risk of injury or disease, then you must say no. When you say no, you are protected from discipline or other punishment. In step 2, after you've told your boss that it is not safe, what happens next? Well, your boss must immediately look into your concern. Your boss might look at the task. He or she might ask you questions about why you think it's not safe. Your boss might talk to other workers at the workplace. This is called investigating the refusal of unsafe work. If your boss is able to fix the problem and address your concerns, and you now think that it's safe for you to do the task, well, you go back to work. The process is over. Everybody is happy. But what if your boss disagrees and says, "Stop complaining, just go back to work"? What happens then? In step 3, you tell your boss that you want another worker to help look into whether or not the task is actually safe. This other worker might be a member of your health and safety committee, or it might be a union or other representative. It might just be another worker that you trust. So in step 3, all of you look into and discuss your concerns. Hopefully, with the help of this extra worker, the problem can be fixed. The task that you have been asked to do can be made safe, and you can be returned to work. But what happens if after this you still don't think that the task is safe? If you think that doing the task might still injure you, tell your boss. Now in step 4, you and your boss must call WorkSafe BC. Here's the phone number. You can call this number any day at any time. Tell the person on the phone that you're calling about a refusal to do work that you think is unsafe. The person will arrange for a prevention officer to come to your workplace as soon as possible. When the prevention officer arrives in step 5, he or she will talk to you and ask you to explain why you think the task is unsafe. The officer will also talk to your boss and to the other worker who helped look into the concern. After investigating, the officer will make a decision as to whether or not an undue hazard exists. They will tell you whether or not it is safe for you to do the task. If the officer thinks that you were right, that the task is not safe, the officer will order the employer to fix the problem before you are allowed to do the job. If the officer thinks that you were wrong, the officer will tell you and your boss that it is safe for you to do the job. In either case, the officer will remind your boss that you are protected from discipline or other punishment if you had reasonable cause to believe that you were at risk of injury or disease. This protection, however, ends if the officer tells you that it is safe to do the task and you continue to refuse. Workers sometimes ask, "Can I refuse unsafe work for myself and for other people?" The answer is no. The right to refuse unsafe work is an individual right. That means each worker must decide for themselves, and each one must inform the boss of this refusal to do unsafe work. Workers also ask, can I be assigned other safe work while my boss investigates my concern? The answer is yes, but this other assigned work cannot mean that you get less money or benefits. Another question is, if I'm punished for refusing unsafe work, do I call WorkSafe again? The answer is yes. If you're punished in any way for saying no to an unsafe task, call again and an officer will explain how to file a discrimination complaint under the Workers' Compensation Act. In conclusion, if you have any questions about this process of refusing unsafe work in British Columbia, call WorkSafe Prevention or visit their website at www.worksafebc.com. And remember, always work safe.